So get that done. And so we would like to welcome everyone tonight. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy lives to share with us. And this is, I guess, our first business class that we're putting together because we're very new to the whole Young Living journey. Excited about what's happened to us so far and looking forward to the future. To have everybody muted on there. So in case anybody's interested or doesn't know, we started Young Living last summer was when really we were first introduced. Started, I guess we got the premium starter kit in August, I think it was. A few months later, got on Essential Rewards, and a couple months later, we started buying more and more because, mainly Hannah
loved it.
Gets into this. Just noticeably quality product that we enjoyed using. It worked for our family, and we enjoyed learning more about how to use the oils, how to use the different products. And so we're interested in, well, maybe this could be a business opportunity, and with some things in our lives, that was something that Hannah really spearheaded, saying this is something that I'd like to do, and really jumped into it and said this is something I'd like to learn more about. We actually attended one of April's income classes that kind of helped convince me, and that's one reason why I'm excited about sharing this, because it makes sense to me in a lot of ways. So we're just trying to bring everything to the surface, share with everybody so that we can answer some questions and hopefully get people excited about the business side of things specifically.
And also, quick note, if you guys have any questions during this, you can unmute yourselves. Personally, like I think it's in the bottom left corner. We just muted everybody just to kind of, get rid of background noise while we're talking. But feel free to ask questions.
Yeah, this is a casual, open discussion, so please comment if you want to.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And we haven't used Zoom a whole lot here. There we go. Okay. So just a little thing about the business model, which is what we're going to be kind of talking about for a little bit here. What are your goals, basically? And definitely there are some people here that are already doing the business with Young Living. There's people that are just now starting, people that are, haven't, they're just kind of looking for information, and that's awesome. And we have a lot of different levels here today. But that's what's so awesome about Young Living is that, you can totally make it a business and, go as far as you want to go, or you can do as little as you want to do. And so a lot of people will choose to use this as a way to just basically get their kit for free, which is totally an awesome way. And that was kind of part of the motivation for us as well, just to get our oils for free, being on Essential Rewards, doing the 50 PV a month, and getting people to sign up. It all adds up and helps kind of cover that cost, and that's very, very appealing to a lot of people. You can earn extra money for vacations, splurges. I mean, you can use money for all kinds of things, obviously. Our goal, personally, is we would kind of looking to the future, like to replace maybe his job to like a part-time job. There's all kinds of options. It's kind of where we're headed, and then of course paying off debt and other things. You can retire early. The other awesome thing too is with Young Living, you earn basically what is called like a residual income, which basically is an income that is there. I don't know if you can explain a little better than me, but
kind of like investing in the stock market. You can earn basically dividends that just keep on rolling over, with at times, hopefully to the point where it's minimal effort on your part is the sort of what she's talking about, the long-term goal.
Yeah, and it's also a willable business, which is amazing to me because, it will go on then to your family, for generations to come. And just to have that as an option is really cool. And then, of course, too, it's just like, I don't know, for us, too, it's been awesome just joining this community because it's a huge community of, health and wellness, people of like-mindedness, seeking, again, better health in their lives and increased quality of life. And Young Living totally offers that with, you know, many of you guys already know all their essential oils that are great and all the different products, seeds and Ningxia Red and all those things. It just has really helped us, and the support as well is very, very big. There's lots of groups on Facebook and other places for just learning what we need to learn, and then business groups as well. And so we're all just kind of huge support group.
So the MLM, or multi-level marketing scheme, some people have a history with this. I feel like everybody at least knows generally what it is, as far as, and we'll throw out some examples here in a second, but some people in the past have had some, you know, less than favorable experiences with this kind of distributing. So one thing that we're trying to explain as well is really the structure of the Young Living, this multi-level marketing platform, and really how it works. And one, just in general, one way that it's superior to just a direct retail market is obviously no retail stores. I'll just use Walmart for an example. Walmart's great. I love Walmart. So there are retail stores, you know, physical stores that you have to, you know, kind of going down the list, advertisements, you know, on the TV, on radio, whatever that is, costs a lot of money. People to I guess design whatever it is to advertise, and obviously the retail stores themselves, you know, anybody stocking shelves, anybody checking out lines, you know, you just kind of go down the list. These are people that are essentially not needed in this kind of a market, because it's all word of mouth. You know, the advertising is person to person to person on a more personal level, which is also the advertising, because, you know, Young Living really doesn't have to strain as much. They don't have to spend as much on advertising, because they let their people do it for them, because they benefit and Young Living benefits. So it's a way to kind of help everybody. And it also, and I think we're going to explain a little bit more in detail, but it helps the people that want to work hard, and it really rewards you for that. Let's see if I missed anything here.
And the other thing too,
Talking about the loyalty, and
yeah, the other thing too here as well is that, you know, anyone can do it. It's open to anyone. There's no education required. I mean, even just with Young Living, it is obviously, essential oils are the whole base of the company. You don't have to be an aromatherapist to share with people and make money. It's just basically like recommending, you know, we do it every day. We have different products that we use that we're like loving, you know, and so we want to share with our friends because we want them to love it too, and see the benefits. It's the same concept, but you get paid for it, and that's what's so awesome, because Young Living rewards their customers for sharing with people, yeah, I don't know. So you don't need any education, which is awesome. And yeah, so basically what I was already saying, it's not like direct sales. Like, you know, many of us know kind of Mary Kay, Pampered Chef, Avon, LaRoe is another big one. And nothing against those companies right now at all, but just using them as examples, they have inventory. So each person, you know, whenever they're doing a business, usually they, I feel like, have to get kind of a kit of some sort, spend a lot of money, basically startup costs to start their business. And then they have all this product that they have to sell before they really see any benefit. And that is another thing that was just like, well, this is a no-brainer. We just need to do this as a business because we don't have any inventory whatsoever. We just share because it's simply, you know, as many of you guys already know, you know, giving people your member ID, and they go to the, you know, the website, sign up, and they're free to, you know, buy whatever they want, whenever they want, and they don't have to go through us. So I always like to use the example of Amazon Prime. we love Amazon Prime. We, you know, use it pretty much every month. And, you know, it's just like recommending that to people. Like, you need to be on Amazon Prime. But you get rewarded for it. And it's just really cool. So again, not directly selling the product, you're just simply sharing your story and referring to Young Living.
Basically, talking about the money side of things, if you treat it like a business, then, as it says, you'll get paid like it were a business. And again, because Young Living rewards people that want to work hard and put in the time and effort, and they have a lot of potential there. And again, as it says, if you treat it like a hobby, a little bit here and there, well, you'll get rewarded as it were a hobby. And then kind of breaking it down. So before I get into it, this is kind of a general rule of thumb. I don't know if anybody specifically came up with it, or I guess Eric Worre and other people kind of refer to this year scheme of sort of the average person, and if you put in a reasonable amount of time, if you're looking down the road and you are treating this like a business and you want it to be successful, I guess Eric refers to it as the 1-3-5-7 rule, and you can read it for yourselves. 1 year to become profitable, 3 years to be able to go full time if you want in this specifically Young Living business, 5 years to earn a high income, and then 7 years to become world class or very successful. And actually, when we were rewatching some of April's class, she went through this as well. And if you're a visual person, then this is you on the bike, if you can see that. This is year one. So in the very beginning, you're not going to see a lot of profit. In the first few months, you're not going to see a lot of profit, right? Because everything is uphill. You have no history. You don't have a lot of knowledge. Everything's new. You don't have a lot of ties. And there's a lot going against you in the very beginning. But kind of the 1-3-5, the next stage, you're getting towards the top of that peak. If you keep on pushing, well, 1 year, you're going to start seeing some benefit. You're going to start getting a little bit of income, and at that point, you're still going to be putting most of your efforts, most of your income back into the business. And so you're still, on average, obviously, it's different for everybody, but on the average person, that's the point where you're going to see some benefits. And then down the road, if you work at it hard, if you stick at it for 5 years, that's really 3+ years is where you're going to see your benefit, and you're going to start to coast downhill. At year 7, my big pot of gold down there at the bottom. And if you work hard, there are a lot of benefits in the end. And with Young Living specifically, and to be clear, we're still very new at this, so we're nowhere near that yet. But from people that we've talked to, from what we've seen, from what we've looked at, it seems like that's really how you need to think about it. Because right now we're in the beginning stage still. We still have a lot of work to do, but we are starting to see some benefit, which is great. But for those of you who need a big picture, don't get discouraged because, and again, I'm probably going to mention this later, but there is a pot of gold at the end of this journey, and 7 years is not a long time if you really think about it, and if you're really wanting to invest in yourself. Again, whatever it is for you, your why you want to do the business, decide for yourself what that is, but realize that with Young Living there is a lot of opportunity, and don't take our word for it. If you want more, obviously seek other people who have been there, who have done that. Would be I definitely encourage that. There's a lot of videos, YouTube videos, like Hannah mentioned before, resources that you can look at to verify that for yourself. But I just wanted to throw that out there to give you kind of a big picture. And one thing I wanted to know in the beginning also was what does that mean if I want to become, and these are all the different ranks from, start to finish, I guess, from weakest to strongest rank, if you will. This can give you an idea for, and a lot of times the silver rank in the middle is kind of the breaking point between becoming truly successful, and it really breaks it from a hobby to a business for your main income. So if you want to work a few hours a week, 5 hours a week, that's great. If you want to do that, that's fine. But just keep in mind that you're not going to see as much benefit. If you really want to be a platinum or a diamond, just keep that in mind, that you might want to spend a few more hours, and it just depends on what you want to do. We want people to be, especially people on our team, we want to encourage them, empower them to do what they want to do. And if their goal is to make, senior star, great. Maybe these are some guidelines to go by. If you have a lot of extra time and you're just pushing and driving to become as successful as possible, make it a full-time business in the beginning, and it'll pay off for you.
So this is kind of the income he was talking about. This actually shows you the numbers. Anytime we talk about the Young Living business, we are required to, legally required to, show you guys the income disclosure statement, which we will show, I think, in the next slide. But basically, as you can see here, again, the different ranks all the way from distributor. Distributor is what you are when you become a member with Young Living, the wholesale membership. Anyone can be a distributor. You do not have to do the business to be a distributor. But that is like the starting point. Then, of course, there's star, senior star, executive, silver, and above. You can read it for yourself. But silver, as he said, is that's the average monthly income. So you can see there that would be definitely a good spot to be like, okay, we can maybe hopefully go part-time, or just completely, like, that could be your income, just whatever your money needs are. Everybody's different, but that is definitely, like, where he said is where your business really can start, and you will really see the benefit and the success. So obviously we are not there yet. We are gonna be there. The goal for us, I think, is by like the end of this year is what we're thinking. But
we'll see what happens.
But you can definitely see that the numbers here are pretty awesome. There's all kinds of potential with this business. And again, you can put as much into it as you want, or as little as you want. It just depends on where you're wanting to go, what you're wanting really the income for. And that's the beauty of it. And so this is the income disclosure statement. I'm not going to read all this to you, but you can kind of look at it. It's very similar to what I just showed you before, the average monthly income, and then the annual average income. Right. So again, as you can see, the numbers are pretty cool. So there's lots of potential.
So just for your convenience, those of you who are not as familiar with some of the terms that people throw out, and it gets very confusing very fast because there's a lot of new terms if it's new ground. Nothing wrong with that, but we thought this was a good slide to show. I don't know if I'm missing something, but kind of going through distributor or member, as we mentioned. When you become a member with Young Living, you automatically, for life, 24% off of retail prices, any product on Young Living, which is great. And on the other hand, a customer basically who is not a member is going to pay the retail price for that, which again is that 24% higher, or whatever it is, and again is not able to earn commissions, of course, because they are not a member and are not set up for that.
But they're still valued for sure. But those are the two options, whenever you join, right, retail or the wholesale membership.
And so, more on the business side of things, the enroller is the distributor responsible for signing up a new member to Young Living. So, if you sign somebody up, basically you are the enroller. If you're the one that has the class, whatever that is, if you talk to somebody, sign them up, you are the enroller. You give, you have a number. If you're a member, you give that to them, and you're, as it mentions, you're eligible for these bonuses, Fast Start and Start Living, which we will mention in the next slide, which is great. And then a sponsor is very similar to an enroller, but the sponsor is specifically the member's direct upline. So if I talk to Hannah and I enroll Hannah and she's my first member or whatever, obviously I'm going to be the enroller and I'm going to be the sponsor. But if we have a bigger team, if we have several people, I might want somebody to be enrolled, later or lower down in my team. And I'll say, oh, I want person Y to be the sponsor. So I could place a person just depending on what you want to do with your team. There's some flexibility there. But usually rule of thumb is you're, as a sponsor, you are responsible for kind of supporting and educating the person directly under you. So depending on how you want to build your team, you have options there. And as far as bonuses go, you get commission off of that if you are the sponsor, of course. And as far as on the website, there's PV. The V is volume, which, as it says, is commissionable value of the product for a distributor purchase each of the product a distributor purchases each month. So the commissionable value, the dollar value may not be exactly the same. Usually it's close, but say you have $150 worth of product. Well, there might be $100 worth of volume or 100 PV, and that's just throwing that out there. It's not complicated, but it basically is just that commissionable number, which usually is close to the dollar amount. So sometimes we'll use those simultaneously, synonymously. And then PV is just personal volume. So if we order 100 PV each month, that's just our personal volume there. And then OGV just means your group volume, your organizational group volume. So our whole team, if we have, say, 20 people on our team, it's all 20 people's PV added up to get that number. And then if I have 20 people, maybe I have 3 or 4 or 5 different legs, just pyramids of people underneath me, branches of people underneath me, fairly basic. You just, expand your people, enroll people under people, and so on and so forth. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, if PV is confusing, because that was really confusing to me in the very beginning. I did not understand these terms. It took me forever. So I understand this might be a little confusing in the beginning. But again, like he said, PV is almost always equal to the dollar amount. So, again, if we ordered, $100 worth of product, usually that's 100 PV. And so again, that goes into the OGV, is the group volume of their PV. So whatever everybody else's PV is, it just all adds up and goes into your OGV. And again, ask questions if this isn't making sense. We'll try to answer them.
All right.
Yeah. So as far as, this is an income class. So, okay, how do we actually get paid?
Well, we have apparently 10 minutes to finish this because of reasons beyond our control. So we're going to speed through this as fast as we can. So we apologize.
Yeah.
Can't go quickly. But
okay.
We'll go through. So how do you get paid? There are a few different ways right away that are going to help you out a lot. The Start Living bonus, the Fast Start bonus, the Unilevel, the Blue, those are things that you're going to see right away. You're going to get some good commissions off of that. Talk about that a little bit. The other three, the Rising Star, other two in black, those are very, very important for long term, and definitely you need to look at those and study those if you're serious about the business. But since this is a 101 class, those are things that come a little bit later in your journey with Young Living as you climb that ladder. And so we'll stick with the first three for now, but the other three are very important here. So the Start Living bonus, basically you automatically, with both of these, typically if you enroll somebody, you automatically get around $50, which specifically is the $25 for the Start Living bonus, which is just that $25 cash bonus. And then with the Fast Start bonus, it's similar, but it's 25% of that order, and a lot of times it adds up to $50 total.
It adds up to 100 typically when they enroll, I think is what you meant to say. You get 25% of whatever that whole enrolling order is, which usually equals 100 PV. Or if they're getting on ER, or just wanting to add more products, it could be more than that, but you would get 25%. So that's where they get the $50 for each member, is the $25 cash bonus, and then the 25%, which typically is $25. And so that's where they're getting that number from. And then you get 25% also for the next 3 calendar months of whatever they order.
Right. And then the unilevel commissions is basically just a percentage of people underneath you. So level 1, everybody just underneath you, you're going to get 8% of their PV. So if they order $100, you'll get $8. Pretty simple. Level 2, 5%. If they order $100, you'll get $5, and so on and so forth. And if you build your team and you have enough people, this is going to be a significant portion of basically your check every month. And you can do that on your own, figure out so many people. But again, this is not your main form of income later down the road, and keep that in mind as well, because there are other bonuses that towards the end, if you reach silver and beyond, these actually become less significant than others. So if you're running through numbers, don't dismiss the opportunity right away based solely on this. And I'm not going to go over this too much, but because I've mentioned it before, but you do want to build your team and what's going to benefit people the most. If you have family members, you'll place them with each other if possible, so that for us, we want everybody to benefit as much as possible, and we want to basically grow a strong team as we can, and hopefully do that in a way that there's minimal competition, and there's basically decisions you can make just depending on who you're enrolling and so on. So rank qualifications, again, distributor being automatically, when you become a member, you are a distributor, and then star, senior star, executive, or ranks immediately following that are going to be your first ranks that you want to reach. And again, the PV and OGV you can see are your target values to reach those ranks. Star being the first rank up, which is you have to maintain 100 personal volume yourself and get a 500 group volume, and then so on and so forth for senior star and executive, kind of working upwards. And same thing through silver, gold, and platinum. But this is really where you start seeing that. You can see on the bottom the generation commission percentages, which exist at the point you hit silver, which more for a 102 class is very, very important. And we'll kind of skip through these because they're down the road for most people, most likely. I don't think we have any diamonds here, but definitely something to look forward to. So if you're persistent, you will get it. If you're consistent, you will keep it. So that's just some encouragement from us here.
And so in order to obviously be successful with the business, you have to be a product of the product. You have to use what you're selling, because it just, you would recommend something to someone unless you've actually tried it. And so, we found it's really important to, try new things. So every month, we're meeting the 100, which we didn't get to talk about. But if you are doing a business, you want commission, you have to maintain a 100 PV each month, which is again a good thing because it helps you try new products, maybe ones that you wouldn't have tried before, but ones that you can say that, hey, yeah, I use this and I love it, and you can pass it on to the person. It just makes it more believable and more genuine. Essential Rewards is amazing, as I'm sure almost everyone here can attest to. This is the heart of the business. This is the month-by-month order from your members, and this is where, so basically every month you start out with 0 OGB. And so if they already have this Essential Rewards order for every month already set, ready to go, that just, it helps, basically make sure that you are going to have that OGB, hopefully, that you need for that month, because it's already set in place. You don't have to go contact the person to say, hey, have you tried this, to hopefully, get an order. It's just already there. And yeah, I'm sorry, we don't have much time to talk. So obviously hosting classes is a really important thing if you want. Now there's so many other options, sharing with people. Again, it's just talking to someone. You can sit and meet someone for coffee and talk about oils. You don't have to do classes. But it definitely is an awesome opportunity because you can speak to bigger groups of people. And again, it's all about just sharing your story, being personal, making them see that need for essential oils. Helpful resources. We have not been able to read all these books yet, but they are like on our list. There's all kinds of stuff like on your virtual office when you become a member, different things you can look at that are good for your business, like Young Living University, and other things like that. Facebook groups, awesome Facebook groups to get involved in and get the support that you need. There's podcasts, and of course events. There's so many Young Living events going on. There's one happening here in just a couple weeks that our team leader is doing, and we are excited about going to that. And it just helps encourage you and get you motivated.
So also, things to, as a business, just keep track of what you're doing too, because, and you probably know more about this than I do because we're still new to this as well, but anything that you can do to help yourself, specifically tax deductions, do that and keep track so that you can benefit as much as possible. The biggest thing that we want to stress is make it a business. This is you. If you want to get into it, just dive into it and make the most of it. Events and classes are going to get you there, and then talk to your uplines, communicate upward. If you have complaints, support your team as much as you can, as much as possible, because that's what is going to basically build you up, is your team, and that's what we need to do. And in case we get cut off here, we had to speed this up because we were going to be cut short. Everybody stay on the line because we're going to break here, probably get off, try to get back on, and then have a discussion group. So stay on if you can, and then we'll discuss some things. I apologize for scooting through that, but we had to. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and hopefully we can catch up with you all soon.